Well, my name's Jeff Hundley, and I have the privilege of serving as the CEO of the All-State Sugar Bowl. And with us here today as part of our program are Rich Clark, the Executive Director of the College Football Playoff, the Louisiana Governor, the Honorable Jeff Landry, Walt Leger, who's the President and CEO of New Orleans and Company, and of course, Dottie Reese, the President of the Sugar Bowl Committee. All of us at the Sugar Bowl are quite proud of our relationship with the College Football Playoff, one that began when the playoff started back in 2014, but also has roots in previous iterations that dates back almost 3 decades. Last year, as the playoff expanded to 12 teams for the first time, we had the honor of hosting our first ever CFP quarterfinal game at the All-State Sugar Bowl. And that game featured, as you recall, 2 of the most storied programs in the history of college football, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish and, of course, the Georgia Bulldogs. On top of that, the Sugar Bowl and the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation had the opportunity to work together to bring New Orleans its first ever CFP National Championship game just a few years ago when Joe Burrow and Coach O and LSU came in here and beat Clemson for the 2020 title. At the time, the then director of the CFP called that event the best in the first 6 years of the playoff. As organizations, as a city, and as a state, we're all pretty proud of that moment in time. In fact, it's fascinating to note that the last 4 national championships played in this building, all brought to you by the Sugar Bowl Committee, 2004, 2008, 2012, and 2020, all featured the LSU Tigers. Had to get that in. Now, to get us started with the program, it's our sincere honor to welcome to the podium Rich Clark, who's the Executive Director of the College Football Playoff. General Clark is a proven leader of people with a long and decorated career in the Air Force, where most recently he served as the Superintendent of the Air Force Academy. Rich won't tell you, but he also was quite a football player at Air Force when he was in college and participated in 4 bowl games in the process. And we're fortunate that he's here with us today, and he's come bearing some good news. Rich?
Thank you, Jeff. I'll say he's wrong. I will tell you that I was a football player and that we had a great team, but I really do appreciate all that Jeff and the team have done for us at CFP. Great teammate, great friend, and really honored to be here with you today. And of course, Governor Landry, sir, thank you. It's great to see you again. We got to work a little bit together last year, and we're going to work together a lot more in the future. So thank you, sir. And then Miss Dottie Reese, she always takes care of me when I come here, and she's always calling my wife and telling her we got to come back. Yes, I know, but we appreciate the hospitality. And Mr. Leger, sir, thank you. We look forward to working with you and New Orleans and Company to make this a spectacular event. But before I make any announcements, we have a video that we want to show.
New Orleans isn't just a city, it's a stage, where the food is louder than the music, where the nights are longer than the days, and where football moments become legends. Here, dreams get made and broken on the biggest stage of all. A goal line that turned into a brick wall, a pass that silenced dynasties, a defense that humbled the unbeatable. A season for the ages, sealed with confetti. Year after year, decade after decade, the road to immortality has run straight through the Crescent City. Because when the lights hit the dome, it's never just a game. It's history. It's heartbreak. It's glory. And it's coming back. January 24, 2028. The College Football Playoff National Championship. New Orleans, the Sugar Bowl, the Superdome. Another chapter, another memory, another chance at forever.
All right. So that is the news. The 2028 National Championship, College Football National Championship, will be right back here in the Big Easy for the second time as a CFP championship. That is worth a round of applause. We're very excited to bring it back, and we know the team here. We get to work with the Sugar Bowl committee, who is so awesome and amazing to us. We get to work with Jeff Hundley and team, but really it's about the warmth, the hospitality, the energy of the Big Easy that makes us excited to bring it back here. And Bill Hancock said it back in 2020 when LSU and Clemson were here and LSU came away with the win, that was the best to date. I am certain that I'll say that in 2028. It will be the best to date that we've had in the college football playoff, and we're excited to bring it here. And, I mean, there's a lot of reasons, right? First, we have an iconic, historic, a modern stadium to play in. The Caesars Superdome is just incredible, and it'll be a huge event for us. Last year I came here for the Super Bowl, and I thought the only thing that could have made that weekend better was if it was the College Football National Championship. But everything about New Orleans, it is a destination city. It has great accessibility. People can walk everywhere. People want to come here. The best thing about it is the food. I mean, look at me. You can tell that that's very important to me. But there's just so many things that make this the perfect destination for a big event. And you know how to run big events, Final Fours, College Football National Championships, Super Bowls, all kinds of events that you make first class. And we're excited to bring our game here and have that opportunity, I think, to raise our championship to the next level. And that's our goal every year, to take it to the next level. And 2028 will be no different. So I just want to say once again, congratulations to this amazing community. And we are so excited to have it here. Thank you to everyone who is on the stage. Thank you to your teams. And thank you to this entire community.
Pretty good news, huh? Thank you, Rich. You know, we're all absolutely thrilled to bring the national championship back to New Orleans and Louisiana, and of course to the legendary Caesars Superdome. Now at this time, allow me to introduce the governor of the great state of Louisiana, the Honorable Jeff Landry. Also with us here today, we're fortunate to have the First Lady, Miss Sharon Landry, here. Thank you, ma'am, for being with us. Governor, on behalf of the Sugar Bowl Committee, we want to thank you especially for the tremendous leadership that you've shown us, leadership that was never more apparent than on January 1st of this year when we all had to react to something we never thought we'd see in our lifetime. And yet, we were able to still safely and successfully conduct our CFP quarterfinal game less than 18 hours later. And sir, that was thanks in large part to your steady hand. So we appreciate that very much. Furthermore, the members of the New Orleans College Football Championship Host Committee, which is comprised of the Sugar Bowl and the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation, we want to thank you for your support of the bid effort that helped us land this national championship. Quite frankly, sir, without that, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you very much. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. Again, this is what winning looks like, right? This is what making New Orleans a championship city is all about. Walt, I want you to know you can put Rich Clark on the payroll. I think he just walked through why New Orleans deserves championship events just like this. Rich, I want to thank you. I want to thank Jeff. Really and truly, we stand here today is really miraculous. When you think about where we were literally almost 10 months ago. And I can tell you, for those who may not have seen it from the outside, but certainly watched it from the inside, but certainly watched it from the outside, I can tell you that one of the days I never want to relive again is that fateful New Year's Day this year. when you think about what this city did and what the people around us did, what the first responders did, what our law enforcement community did, what everyone did to be able to care for the injured, to console the victims' families, to put on one of the largest investigations, at the same time as having to decide how to continue to put on a major event. It was not an easy task. Although it looked easy, it looked seamless. I can tell you, I can remember sitting in the conference room table right here with Jeff Hundley. You can remember that, with ESPN and the networks, and talk to them about moving the Sugar Bowl event from that Wednesday night to the very next day. Why? Because we needed time to really wrap our hands around what we were dealing with. And I can tell you that the Sugar Bowl Commission, Jeff, Rich, everyone did an unbelievable job. And I think that marks what New Orleans is all about. It's about resiliency. It's about what the people of Louisiana exemplify. And so it is just, it's so exciting also to be able to announce a national championship game here in New Orleans. One, because I think that the game of football, more than any other of the sports that are out there, and we all have great sporting events, but the game of football really shows people the fundamentals of what life is about. And some of the greatest football events have taken place right here in this Caesar Superdome. New Orleans, as Rich said, is made for major events. Not too long ago, we just announced the LIV event, the LIV Golf Tournament that we're going to host next year. We have been racking up championship events again and again. And it's one of the major reasons that I leaned in at the very, very beginning and said that we are going to make New Orleans a safe city. Because when people believe that they can come to the city and they can walk, just like Rich says, you can walk from the restaurant to the event to your hotel and never really have to travel far. That is a unique thing. There is no other city in the world that is built like the city of New Orleans. And of course, when we host the national championship here in 2028, it will mark the Sugar Bowl's 95th anniversary in the city, and what a great event. And Rich, that means that we'll take 95 and we'll also take 100, right? So we can go ahead and put that on it. But here's something else that's important for our business community and for the people of Louisiana to understand, that hosting the national championship means that we get to host two major events back to back. So within 21 days, the Sugar Bowl will host a quarterfinal, and then turn around and New Orleans will again host a national championship. That means bringing hundreds of thousands of people to this city back to back. And I don't even know, I hadn't even looked, I don't even know when Mardi Gras is in 2028, right? But again, I think that this is an example to the people, not only of the city of New Orleans, to the businesses here in this city, but to our corporate members of Louisiana, that this is New Orleans is the front door to the state of New Orleans. To the state of Louisiana. New Orleans creates that front door that people come to that says, hey, what is Louisiana all about? They get to walk through this city, and it makes them think, well, the state of Louisiana is an unbelievable place. And right now, the state of Louisiana is winning in a major way. We have seen some of the most unbelievable historic business investments in all four corners of this state. So when we host events like this, when Rich and them bring these events here, people get to see and have an opportunity to what the state of Louisiana looks like. And we hope that they send their kids here. We hope that they decide to start a business here. We hope that they recognize that this is a great place to work and to live and to raise a family. And then again, I think that it's important to know that we're going to break ground. I'm hoping next year, Walt, I hate to put you all on the spot, but I'm hoping that next year we break ground on a brand new hotel. Which means y'all got to have it ready for 2028, right? Right? Again, I think that all of these things are milestones, not only for the city of New Orleans, but for the state of Louisiana. And so again, I just want to thank Jeff Hudley. I want to thank Rich Clark, Walt Leger, Dottie. I appreciate you making sure that they come back again and again. But this doesn't surprise me. While it's an unbelievable announcement, this is what this city in this state is built on. Because I say it again and again that hospitality may have been born in the South, but it was perfected right here in Louisiana. Thank you so very much.
Well, thank you very much, Governor. Appreciate those encouraging words, and we appreciate your ongoing support as we're going to work to make the 2028 the next best national championship game in the playoff history. Now, if you'll allow me to introduce the leader of our tourism effort here in New Orleans, the president and CEO of New Orleans and Company, Walt Leger. Walt is a pro's pro when it comes to major events, and he's one of the very first people to step up and pledge support of our efforts to host this national championship. He's been a friend to the Sugar Bowl committee and to the community at large, and we're proud to have him as a teammate. Walt?
Thank you, Jeff. When you've got teammates like you and the governor and Rich here, there's not a whole lot left for me to say. But as a recovering politician, I'll say a few words anyway. Governor, I really want to thank you for your leadership. It's been incredible. There's been a lot of comments about that already made today. But when Walter Becker and Jeff Hundley and I made our way up to your office just about a year ago, there was no hesitation when we talked about this event. You have from the beginning recognized the significance of major events like this for how they drive the economy and create opportunity for the 95,000 people who work in this industry, the 95,000 Louisianians who thrive on it, the thousands of businesses that benefit from this economic impact when it happens. But yes, to answer your earlier question, it feels really good to win. And it feels really good today to have a renewed partnership with the CFP. This will be the 5th time in the modern era that we've hosted the college football championship. I do want to say that although 2012 was a national championship game, as an LSU grad, we kind of sometimes pretend that game never happened. But we are thrilled to be here with our partners at the Superdome who've continued to present us with a magnificent facility to do this. The Sugar Bowl Commission, incredible. The whole community. And on behalf of the board at New Orleans and Company, we're just incredibly grateful to have the opportunity to show the world once again in 2028 why New Orleans is built to host. For all the reasons that have already been stated. Just last night, someone was telling me a major conference customer of ours was saying that they came in for the Super Bowl and that they were blown away that they could walk out of one of the greatest restaurants in the world and walk over here without getting on a bus, to your point, Governor, and to yours, Rich. You just can't do that anywhere else. This community is built to host. But it's not just built to host because of the facilities. It's built to host because of all the professionals in this room. All the professionals, the Sports Foundation, the Sugar Bowl Commission, the team at New Orleans and Company, the team here at the Superdome, they recognize that events like this don't just happen. People don't just show up and the event happens. It happens because real professionals put on and produce events of high caliber. And that's part of the reason why events like this one come back to the city of New Orleans time and time again. It's because we're infrastructure-wise built to host, but this community of restaurants, of event venues, of meeting planners, and the list really goes on and on, are true professionals of the highest caliber that demonstrate to customers and clients around the world that we're going to continue to deliver world-class events for you when you come here. So 2028 will certainly be no different, but between now and then, all the people in this room, the whole team will be working together to make sure that we're ready to put on the greatest show on earth when you do come here in 2028. So we're excited for 2028, but as the governor said, we're looking forward to locking in the next one after that as well. No time to rest. So thank you for the partnership, and thank you, Jeff and Dottie, for everything that you do, not just when the game is going on, but the things that you do for the community each and every day. tens of millions of dollars over the years invested in community growth, development, and support, and supporting amateur athletes. That really, really matters, and it matters every day. So we're grateful to be a teammate of yours. Thank you, Jeff.
Appreciate that, Walt. Also appreciate your comments about the fact that we're built to host. Of course, the professional football world saw as much with the recent Super Bowl, and now with this national championship, we're going to have an opportunity to prove the same to the college football world. Now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the president of the volunteer-based Sugar Bowl Committee, Dottie Reese. Dottie's been a devoted and effective businesswoman and community leader in New Orleans for a long time now. And as a Sugar Bowl officer, she's played a pivotal role in all the community-based initiatives the Sugar Bowl undertakes on an annual basis. You could say Dottie's definitely doing her part to keep New Orleans sweet. Dottie?
Thank you, Jeff, and good morning, everyone. Rich, to you, we are just so very grateful for the opportunity to host the CFP's crown jewel, the national championship game, and of course, all of the events that will come with it. Your trust in us is appreciated, and we're eager to show you that it is well placed. Of course, hosting a major event like the College Football Playoff National Championship requires a complete city and statewide effort, and we're fortunate to have so many different groups coming alongside the Sugar Bowl Committee to make this a reality. Representatives of many of these vitally important entities are here, and so I'd like to recognize and thank the following for their stalwart support. Our Governor, Jeff Landry, and the state of Louisiana. U.S. Representative and House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and U.S. Representative Troy Carter were scheduled to be here, but were called back to Washington, D.C. Many of our esteemed state legislators from both the Senate and House of Representatives, including the President of the Senate, Cameron Henry, and Speaker of the House, Philip de Villiers. Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser and the State Office of Tourism. Susan Bourgeois and the Louisiana Department of Economic Development. Kevin Doliak, CEO of New Orleans Louis Armstrong Airport. The mayor's budget address is taking place this morning, and because of that, the esteemed members of the New Orleans City Council, Helena Moreno, J.P. Morrell, Joe DeRusso, Leslie Harris, Freddie King, Eugene Green, and Oliver Thomas, along with the Director of Homeland Security, Colin Arnold, Police Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick, and Fire Chief Roman Nelson are unable to join us as well. But we're grateful for their ongoing support and partnership as we prepare to welcome the 2028 National Championship to New Orleans. We want to recognize further and acknowledge the support of the New Orleans and Company led by Walt Leger, Chairman Philip Sherman, and CEO Jay Cicero of the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation, Keith Gill, Commissioner of the Sun Belt Conference, Rob Vosbian, Chairman of the LSED, along with Superdome leaders, Doug Thornton, Evan Holmes, and Mike Schilling. The New Orleans Saints Organization, and specifically Mrs. Gail Benson, Dennis Lauscha, and Ben Hales. The New Orleans Ernest Morial Convention Center, that is led by Jim Cook. The local and state hospitality community, including Mavis Early with the Greater New Orleans Hotel and Lodging Association, and Stan Harris with the Louisiana Restaurant Association. The Greater New Orleans Foundation, led by Andy Copeland. GNO Inc., led by Michael Heck. The Downtown Development District, led by Seth Knudsen. Members of the New Orleans Clergy. The New Orleans Chamber of Commerce, led by Sandra Lindquist. The Audubon Institute, led by Michael Sawaya. And of course, my colleagues, the many members of the Sugar Bowl Committee who are led by a talented group of officers, President-elect Riley Busenlener, Vice President Sam Zurich III, Treasurer Scott Duggins, Secretary Judge Brian Jackson, Chair of the Executive Committee Richard Breedy, and immediate past President Walter Becker. You all, the Sugar Bowl Committee has served as a strong, generous, and committed corporate citizen for over 9 decades. And during that time, we have welcomed 29 national champions to New Orleans. more than any other city. In the past decade alone, the Sugar Bowl efforts have created over $2 billion in economic impact and nearly $200 million in direct tax revenue for the city and the state. Since 2019, the Sugar Bowl has worked with the College Football Playoff Foundation to provide $5 million to support public school teachers in this area and has awarded over $750,000 to deserving young high school boys and girls in our community. And when a need has shown itself, we step up. The Sugar Bowl has been there time and time again to lend a hand. When COVID hit, the organization stepped up to provide $500,000 to support struggling hospitality workers, and additional funds were allocated to create internet hotspots for underserved communities when remote learning became our reality. This year, after the January 1st incident, we donated another $500,000 to aid victims and to support law enforcement initiatives. Simply put, we're entrenched in this community and proud that the community has been able to count on the Sugar Bowl for 92 years. Today, we are just excited and proud to once again provide millions of Sugar Bowl dollars to help make the 2028 National Championship a reality for New Orleans and Louisiana. We appreciate the chance to host, and we're indebted to the people here today for your support as we go forward towards a great championship event. Thank you so much.
Well, as you can see, it indeed takes a city and statewide effort to pull off an event of this magnitude. And in New Orleans and Louisiana, we feel that the people and the groups that work on those events comprise the absolute best major events team in the business, hands down. This time, though, hosting the national championship is going to require more than just effort from the groups represented here today. It's going to require a real commitment from the business community, and by that, I mean it's going to require skin in the game, financial support. We're competing, let's face it, against cities with a lot deeper pockets than we have here in New Orleans. Nashville, Las Vegas, Dallas, Atlanta, Los Angeles, Miami, and more. So we're asking people to step up and help us this time. When we hosted in 2020, quite frankly, the business community hadn't yet recognized the tremendous value of this awesome event. Hopefully it does now. How about $500 million? That's what the economic impact was when we hosted the Sugar Bowl and the national championship in the same year. And that included over $50 million in direct tax revenue, and furthermore drew more television viewers than even the NCAA men's Final Four. And that TV coverage, it needs to be pointed out, represents millions of dollars in free advertising that showcases everything that's good and unique and awesome about Louisiana and New Orleans. And that in turn helps drive tourism on a year-round basis. I want to be clear, we're not here making this ask without having already stepped up ourselves. We know it's important to keep New Orleans at the top of the postseason college football world, and that's why the Sugar Bowl Committee has committed $6 million of its own funds to help land this championship event this time. It's also important to note that, one, we're doing this because we believe it's the right thing to do. But second of all, the fact that we're doing this is unprecedented. In the first 12 years of the playoff, no other bowl organization has had to use its own savings in order to bring the national championship to its city. For us, it's not the first time we've done so, it's the second, because we gave almost $6 million to bring that 2020 national championship game that LSU won right here on this field. I'm going to ask you to forgive me if you think I'm being too direct for your liking on this, but it's important that you hear this. College football is changing rapidly if you're paying any attention to what's going on these days. In this era of revenue sharing and name, image, and likeness payments and going to players, along with billion-dollar television contracts and 8-figure coaches' salaries, the fact of the matter is the dollars and cents just mean way more than they ever have in the history of the game. If the funds are there, we'll have a long and strong role in the future of college football. And if they aren't, we won't. So the ask of the local and regional business community is simple, and I deliver it with as much humility as I'm capable. Will you help us? State and city government have been rock solid in their support of Sugar Bowl-led efforts over the years, and we know they'll be with us in 2028 as we work toward that national championship. However, if keeping big-time college football and the huge economic impact that comes with it is important to you, here's an opportunity to demonstrate it. Over and over through the decades, we've seen this city and state rise to the occasion, no matter what the occasion. We hope now that those in the business community will do so again now as we truly work together to help the college football playoff host their best national championship yet. Rich, I want to thank you again for entrusting us with this awesome event. We're going to do a great job for you, and I promise we'll be a good partner in the process. And thanks in advance to all of you for locking arms with the Sugar Bowl and the Sports Foundation as we work together to keep New Orleans and Louisiana sweet by proving that we're built to host and better than most. Thank you very much. Now we're going to do some quick photos up here on the stage. And then I would ask if your schedules will allow that you'd stick around because we've got something special planned right after those photos. Thank you.
I'd keep it rolling. The 5 game.
Oh. Okay. I see what you're doing.
What?
I see what you're doing. Just in case.
You won't lose now?
You get the mic on?
Check 1 2, mic check 1 2, check 1 2 3, check 1 2 3 4 5.
Yeah.
Mic check.
And I'm just gonna get down.
Yep.